Welcome to the 12 Days of Star Signs. I'm Ilona Pamplona, the Postmodern Oracle. In this series, you will learn to understand each zodiac sign. You'll learn how to interpret how each sign gets their characteristics and their own interpretations. And you'll see how each sign impacts you, even if they're not part of your big three. So before we get started, it's important for you to know what a chart looks like and what it means for you. So the chart is a circular graph that shows where the planets were the moment you were born. Think of this like your own bingo card, your own board game. This is the game that you were brought to play in this lifetime, and this is the board it's playing on. If you look at the outer layer, we have all of the signs in us. So all of these outer glyphs, they're the signs of the zodiac, and we have all of them on our chart. The thing is that we have specific players, which are the planets, which is a second layer of glyphs, that are the cosmic team we were given. And these planets wear the outfits of the sign that they're in. So while we have all of the signs in us, we don't have planets wearing all of the signs all of the time. And you'll notice that there are these pie pieces in the middle with 1 through 12, and those represent themes of life that these players, the planets, tend to play out in. So we have planets that are our team players on the board game of life that we're given. They wear specific outfits, which are the signs, and they play out in the themes of the houses. In this series, we're focusing on the signs, which are the outfits that the planets wear. And we're starting with Aries, the very first sign of the zodiac. So let's talk a little bit about the mythology because it begins to tell us about Aries. So in Greek mythology, King Athamas, his children were not getting along with his wife and their stepmother. So she plotted a little plan against them, but a ram came out of nowhere, saved them. And Zeus, the king, was so impressed that he's like, I'm going to make you an icon. I'm going to put you in the stars so that people remember what bravery and protection look like. So if you look to the glyph, the sign of Aries looks like a ram's head. So that's why we symbolize Aries as a ram's head, but we begin to see the bravery and protection behind the sign. We also have elements and qualities for each sign. Aries is a fire sign, which means there's alchemy, changing from one state to another. There's energy, getting lit up. There's spontaneity, going for it. It's also a cardinal sign, which is all about creations and beginnings. So we begin to see an interpretation that Aries is the leader. The ram didn't wait to save the children. There's an independence behind there because cardinal signs don't wait for the seasons to end for them to start. They start their cycles with their own natural instincts. And there's enthusiasm because fire is activation energy. It just lights things up. So when we're looking at how do each of the signs matter or impact our own chart, what the question you get to start to ask yourself is, what planets or planet is Aries in? So if you look at my chart, you go all the way to the bottom where the Aries glyph is, and I have nothing in Aries. Does that mean I never have Aries experiences? Absolutely not. But it means that for my personal player, that wasn't a player I was specifically given. And so we look at what house it's in. So we have something called the house ruler. So whatever the beginning of each house, there's a sign that kind of starts it. That's a house ruler. So while I don't have any planets, Aries is the ruler of my house. That's number 4, which is the house of home. It's the house of family and intuition. So I can see from this that there is enthusiasm that I get about home and family. There is like an activation and leadership I take in my family. And that's how we begin to see whether we have a planet there or not, how it impacts us personally. Now, if you have an empty house, remember that doesn't mean a good or a bad thing. It just means that's not a focus in this lifetime. So if you tend to have planets there, you get to say, okay, this area of life is important for me. Now, if you're asking yourself, Ilona, I have so many more questions, send me a message, ilona@ilonapamplona.com, or respond to this email that you may have found a series in so that I can send you the Astro Decoder formula and you can continue to deepen your knowledge about astrology. I can't wait to share tours with you tomorrow.